At the start of 2026, the goal was to premiere each new episode of this vlog on Tuesday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So far, I haven't met the 6 p.m. deadline once. Maybe once, maybe the very first episode. But I can say that every single one of them has premiered on Tuesday in the Pacific Standard Time. It may have been Wednesday in other time zones, but I have made it on Tuesday in my home state of Oregon. And today is going to be another one of those because I have been tired all day. It is Tuesday as I record this. And right now, all I want to do is take a nap, but I still have to make this video and go to the gym. Yeah. So this will be kind of a rush. It will be another talking head with maybe a couple of inserts. But I think with this one, we will wrap up all of the backstory, the history of getting from February 13th, 2018 to here. I think. I hope. Even though there wasn't enough content for a consistent weekly blog or video log all the way back when I first got the idea to make a movie, I do kind of regret not keeping a journal at least of the big moments, because right now, years later, I don't remember precisely when I decided that it was going to be the fitness film. I do know that it's been 3 years, I believe, since I put my first $5 from my personal money into the savings account designated for the film, and then started fundraising. I did start telling friends and relatives about the project, and I don't know how some of these people do it, where they put up a GoFundMe, and in a matter of 3 or 4 days, they have $20,000. I had to kind of ask here and there, present myself to first of all, to people I knew. I did try a GoFundMe a little bit later. I'll get to that in just a moment. But I did have some people I knew take an interest in it. They knew they could trust me to actually follow through. And I had a woman I know give $1,400. That was a tremendous blessing. I've had everything from 50 to 1,000. I think I raised about 3,000 at first. I was able to share the project in a Discord group. If you're not familiar with Discord.com, it's basically a social media platform with a bunch of different, hundreds of thousands of different groups centered around different topics. I was involved in one about fitness, and I just mentioned to the owner of that group, the leader of that group, that I was doing this. He allowed me to present it to the group, and he was so excited about it, he let me post my GoFundMe account there. That raised a few hundred more. One young man in the group, this is embarrassing. Daniel, there we go. Oh, wow. Daniel, way up in Canada, over in, and this is embarrassing too, Montreal? It's way too late for this. Daniel in Canada took such an interest in it that he has put up, I won't get specific about matching names and amounts. I want to keep things kind of, he cashed in some Bitcoin and made some of this possible. I wouldn't be as far as I was if it wasn't for Daniel. Anyway, we raised some money, and I started filming. And I started filming anything I could do basically for free. So local shots of me getting some exercise. Some of the film, not even the majority of the film, but some of the film will be sound bites from interviews from real men. By real, I mean average men. They aren't personal trainers. They aren't professional muscle men, bodybuilder types. They're just guys trying to get in shape themselves. And so I put out a Craigslist notice. I asked around with some friends, and I started getting interviews. That was stuff that I could do right here in Central Oregon for nothing. And so I was able to get quite a bit of footage that way. By the summer of 2025, just last year, using my tax refund money, I was able to reach out to further distances. And so I was able to travel from Redmond over to the Eugene and Salem area of the state. If you're not familiar with Oregon, I live almost exactly in the center. And there's a mountain range that divides the state. There's about a third of the state that is ocean to mountain range. And then the other 2/3 is mountain range to the border of Idaho. And so I was able to reach out to the bigger cities like Salem and Portland and Eugene and go over there and do some interviews. A man named Aaron Orton runs a gym and a personal training collective, really, almost. He's connected with several personal trainers. They all use his gym. He advocates for the natural bodybuilding associations and lifestyle, so getting into great shape without using steroids and performance-enhancing drugs. He got very excited about the project, making it happen as best he could. So he was able to connect me with a lot of the bodybuilders and weightlifters that work out and train under him and his trainers. He gave me blank check backstage permission to film the bodybuilding competition that he puts on every September, I believe, up in Portland. Portland? Vancouver? I've lost track. I think it's now I think about it, it's Vancouver, Washington. So I have spent the past 2 years, basically. We are just a little bit past the 2-year point of the very first shot I took, which was me getting on a scale. Because at that time, I thought that was the start of my participation in the film. It wasn't. My participation in the film basically began just this past January. That's a long story. Maybe I'll fill you in next time. I don't know. I've got time. I am going to put myself in the film. It's not a film about me. I'm not going to dominate the film with my story. But my thinking is that if I'm going to make the claim that I can create a film that teaches men the basics in about 2 hours, I should be able to show it. It's sort of like if you were to go into a personal gym, or if you were to go into a gym looking to hire a personal trainer, you went to the front desk and said, "Can I talk to your trainers?" And said, "Sure." And they called one out from the back office, and he came out looking like a fat slob. You'd be skeptical that he knew his stuff. If he came out looking at least basically in shape, he wouldn't have to look flawless. He wouldn't have to look like a workout magazine cover model. But if he came out looking in shape, you'd believe it a little bit more. I feel like if I were to walk into a gym and me was to come out of an office, I would not hire me. So I want to make me look like what I would hire and what you would hire. I want to make that believable. So I'm going to put my before photos and my before data, how much I can lift, what I measure, body part measurements, and my weight from early January 2026 into the film. At the start of the film, I'm going to work out and work out and work out and eat, try to eat right and do everything spot on. And then when the film is done, when everything else about the film is done, I will then do the final weigh-in and photos and all of the ending data. And the ending of the film will be me comparing how I started and how I ended in that probably about 9 to 10 months' time, if my goal of finishing this film by October of this year, 2026, comes true. And hopefully that will actually prove the point that, yeah, I do know what I'm talking about, and what you just saw in the film is good information. I think I have to stop now. That's where we are. Hopefully from here on out, it will be much more interesting because things will be moving forward in 2026.